people always doubt us. They went to that we are gonna lose against G2.
How do you stay one step away?
That us winning in spring was just some luck.
Look for the last time out the window.
Yeah, we won this, but we still have another BO5.
Pray that my spirit can stay.
Black Shield's gonna do some work, but it's not gonna stop Nisqy from warping in. Too quick and easy kills. So much damage coming in, and it's immediately out of it in the backside. They're just shredding through Rogue.
Like, I think that we were already sure to win against Rogue because we were like super confident.
As we're worse Mad Lions, but with 3 of them as well.
How good is Mad then?
How good is Mad, guys, if we're worse Mad Lions?
They have made it to the summit of the mountain, and only Mad Lions stand in front of them. He's behind you. And here comes the greatest Kaiser hitting. He does it to last the last of his points. How does Kaiser keep getting away with it? Yeah, goes on to Larson straight away. He's dead before he can even get the stun card out. How the freak do Mad Lions keep winning these fights?
I'm pretty confident against Mato. As Yamato says, it's in our hands, and that's what we believe all.
We definitely think that we are the best team in the LEC.
And welcome back to the LEC Summer Finals here in 2021. Fnatic struck back in the last game to equalize the series versus Mad Lions. After getting out to an early lead, things looked a little bit shaky for Fnatic in the mid-game.
Yeah, it certainly did. Well, I mean, I don't know. I felt like that it was hard for them to push their lead largely because of things like the Gangplank and the Ezreal. And then, of course, Mad do what Mad often do, which is that when they're at a deficit, they will just keep fighting you because they kind of have nothing to lose at that point. Admittedly, I will say that that Baron setup, I think that there were many ways that they probably could have stopped that.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea to stop Elyoya from just jumping in.
But you know what? It keeps things exciting. What we now have is a 1-1 between the two teams. We know we're guaranteed at least 2 more games, and we'll get to see how the drafts shift because we know that things are going to be changing up as we move into Game 3.
Yeah, I think the TF and Rise are the champs you look at in both of these games. And yeah, just talking about that last game we saw, Mad Lions, even out a few team fights, stole the Baron. It looked like they had a lot of momentum because Fnatic lost a lot of tempo on the map and didn't have any vision setup. When you're playing TF, you need some kind of vision setup. Otherwise, you have to use the ult to crack it open. In the end, Mad Lions overextending. And that's the thing, when you're so far behind like that, yes, going even's great, but one mistake and it's completely over. And you saw it right there. Upset made the hero play. But going into Game 3, I expect there to be a lot more contest over this Rise and TF.
Let's see if that's the case as we jump on into the draft for Game 3. In the last couple of games, that mid lane has really been the focus. Of course, in Game 1, we saw Bwipo having a strong jungle performance as well. And in Game 2, we'll see if junglers are the priority. Mad Lions, once again, on the blue side, they had selection. And so far, blue side has a 100% win rate in LEC Finals.
Certainly does, largely because of this priority on the Twisted Fate and the Rise. We haven't been able to see successful answers from either side, and let's see how things shape up. I imagine Fnatic is going to look to remove the Rise from Humanoid's hands.
Yeah, I wonder if Mad Lions will take away TF as well themselves. I expect Fnatic's last 2 bans, probably, yeah, Varus Rise, you'd expect. Maybe they have an answer to the TF itself.
I think Humanoid might just lock it in for himself.
That was my question, right? Are they just going to first pick TF or do they ban it here? That's the question. I think something like TF Thresh ban might be something Mad Lions opt into, but no, they're going to take away Rakan, so we will have Thresh up, you expect, if Fnatic take away Varus.
Well, in Game 1, they did decide to leave the Thresh up, and it was picked by Fnatic. Of course, Mad Lions took that game. When Fnatic were on the red side last, it was Hylissang and Varus bans. So we'll see if they decide to focus those once again. In fact, those have been their bans every single game so far. And they move to the LeBlanc.
I wonder if Fnatic knows they're going to ban Rise last, and they're expecting a TF ban from Mad Lions right now, which means that the next best mid pick for Humanoid would be the LeBlanc.
Sure.
We've seen Nisqy bring it in playoffs, but he didn't have the best performance on it. So just removing that from the pool, I'm assuming now will be a Rise ban.
I think you're right, yeah. You're completely right. 3 mid laners taken away, and now Varus, Thresh, Viego, kind of like the first picks. And I think maybe if Mad Lions take away something like the Varus, then they can match it with the Thresh, but no, they're just going to go straight for Hylissang, which was also banned away in the last 2 games, I believe. So now Fnatic, the last time we saw them on red side, it was an Ashe Thresh first rotation. Could go for Varus Thresh first rotation, and then match jungle on 3. Could also early pick something like the Viego or the Xin Zhao, which I think was working great for Bwipo.
I agree with all of those things.
Yeah, Elyoya has played Lee Sin 4 times so far in playoffs as well and has won 3 of those 4 games. So not really surprising that Mad Lions decide to prioritize it here, and we'll see what Fnatic want to run into it. Thresh will be the lock. Alongside that, as you said, like Viego very strong in this sort of situation.
Mid lane has a sort of a weird dynamic now where you're going to control mages, and as much as we see control mages kind of throughout the world, Europe really likes roaming mids or kill pressure mids or 2v2 setups in mid. Diana Yasuo is another one that could come through if they decide to go for an AP jungler, but again, Bwipo doesn't play AP junglers really apart from Karthus and Gragas, so we won't see that. They're just going to go Ashe Thresh, so no prior on Varus just yet. Expect them to match jungle on 3. I mean, there is Viego, there is Zinzao, there's Trundle, so going 4-5 doesn't hurt if they want to early pick something like a top laner or a solo laner for Nisqy.
Could just get themselves, they could do a Syndra Jace on this rotation.
Jace banned.
Lock in. Oh, you're right, the Jace is perma banned, of course.
Could go Syndra GP or something like that, though.
Yeah, they could. If they just want a strong mid jungle. It depends on what Humanoid is feeling. We know he has a very deep and extensive champion pool. They may just want to try and match bot lane right now. It's going to be the Orianna. This is something that we've seen a lot here in Europe in playoffs, often used as an answer into things like the Twisted Fate and the Rise because of how well it scales and the teamfight prowess that it does offer later into the game. Not the strongest mid jungle duo, though.
Now, I wonder if Nisqy's going to pick Sylas into it, because I think G2 Fnatic, he was playing Sylas against the Orianna Lee Sin combo, and I think he opted into that himself, so maybe they want to go for Sylas on 3. Braum going to be picked up here for Kaiser into the Thresh lane, similar to game 1, but I think it's a control mage match of something like the Syndra Azir, or it's a Sylas pick.
I have to see where Fnatic decide to go. Orianna is Humanoid's most played this year. 16 games on it, almost a 70% win rate. Fnatic might try and match it in the mid lane. Now, we did see the Zilean banned out yesterday.
True.
Has Nisqy been trying his hand at it? Well, maybe he has, but he's not going to pick it here. Instead, the Sylas is locked in.
Zilean into Orianna is a rough matchup, I can tell you that. The range hurts. Zilean's just a wave clear bot at
How's
that point.
Malzahar into Orianna? Just a champ you have got a lot of
as the game goes
He
on.
was making a joke.
Oh.
Because of my Malzahar. Never mind.
You have a
Never
great
mind.
Malzahar.
Yeah.
True.
Anyway, Fnatic taking away ADs. Ezreal banned away. And with the Braum pair up, that's obviously the strongest AD you can pair with the Braum. Maybe they want to take away Varus as well. Take away that kind of lead.
Oh, right, Varus.
Yeah, it's still up, right? So banning
Wow.
ADs, Mad Lions maybe want to take away junglers. But there is, like we said, Viego, Zinzao, Trundle. No matter what they ban away, I think he's going to get his hands on an AD jungler.
I think removing Xin, I would personally remove Viego. I think that the champion is just very strong, and if given the opportunity to get resets, can just run away with the game. Personally, I would try and remove that, and I like this Varus ban from Fnatic, because that's what I would expect, actually, to come out from Carzzy. Something that he often defaults to, can often play on the weak side of the map as well, and I think would contribute to the teamfight style that MAD is slowly working their way towards. Wouldn't be surprised to see the blind Gnar once again come out from the Mad Lions, just because of the direction that their composition seems to be going in. They need a little bit more engage, and I think that the Gnar can offer that for the Mad Lions.
Would be a very standard composition from them if they play Orianna Gnar, right? Very classic Mad Lions comfort, and we'll see what Adam wants to counterpick that with. We haven't seen his Olaf just yet. We've seen a set and things like this, but he will get counterpick anyway, and you expect jungle to be picked up here. Sin's out, Trundle down. Maybe they're going to go Viego. Could go for something else, some kind of AD jungler, but options kind of running out unless you want to go Olaf flex here.
Jarvan is a possibility, and it will be what Bwipo locks in for the jungle. Very gank heavy. We used to see Jarvan's just perma-ganking when it was meta, and it seems like that's what Bwipo wants to do here.
There's not many mobile ADs left. I mean, Kalista could be the only real one left to jump out of the Jarvan ult. Ziggs is another one with his W, and that's what they're going to go for. So this Jarvan pick, it will be good into the Orianna GP. Ziggs can obviously jump away. We'll have to keep our eye on it. I think Bwipo has one game on Jarvan. It was a great game. It was a stomp. Oh! Of course, Chogath straight into the GP.
Wow, okay, so a lot of things to talk about here. Mad Lions, clearly a lot of power when it comes to scaling. They have very good wave clear. They replaced the Ezreal with the Ziggs, but he still has the global ultimate. He still has the ability to just perma-wave clear, so Mad Lions have a lot of stalling tools, and they've got a Braum on top of that. Their engage is not the strongest, but playing around objectives when you're relying on the Gangplank should be ways for them to start fights.
My only worry for Mad Lions is you're playing double mage into Sylas, Chogath, I think, and Jarvan as well. I think that you don't have a lot of DPS. You have a lot of burst, but you have a lot of not much DPS. You just have poke and burst, so it will be hard for them to take down this Chogath, I think. But then again, you have a GP ultimate. The problem I see for Mad Lions again is the Sylas can take GP ultimate or Ziggs ultimate with a Jarvan, right? So you Jarvan ult in, Sylas has a Ziggs ult. You're just one-shotted if you have no flash, and none of these champions can get away other than Ziggs.
It's very true. I think that Fnatic have got themselves a pretty solid front-to-back teamfight comp themselves. They do have champions that do want to get in your face, but they have a lot of utility, they have a lot of scaling, and as you rightly said, their ability to steal away so many of Mad's ultimates. I think this is going to be an interesting one just because it's going to be a lot more about the fights, and a little bit less about the side lanes. Those will still be relevant, but I'm expecting a lot of contest around the Drakes and the Baron.
Yeah, the only side laners we might see in this game is the GP Sylas on side lanes. Orianna side lane is a must when you have Ziggs on your team, but a lot of team fight for sure.
Well, so far we've been hot and heavy down with the action. Let's see if we can have another banger. MAD versus Fnatic coming up. And here we see Hylissang stepping into the bush. Armut looking for the chasers. Carzzy is there. No real ability to slow up Hylissang. He will be able to walk away.
Okay, quick words after this level 1. Mac, what did you need to change after game 2?
That's a good question, actually. After game 2, I mean, I think game 2 was just level 1, honestly. I don't think there was too much that we needed to change. It's a completely different draft from blue to red side, so it's more just, I think from game 2 we can see that like we can outplay this team in the mid game.
And anything to be mindful about when it comes to the Jarvan pick from Bwipo?
Level 2 ganks, level 3 ganks, level 4 ganks.
All right, well, ganks as a whole. Thank you, Mike, for the interview, and back to you guys on the Rift.
Back onto the Rift we go. We saw a little bit of a skirmish on either side, neither team burning any summoners, all players able to get back and at full HP as they walk back into their lanes.
Didn't Elyoya start with Q though? And it looks like he's also doing a solo blue buff. So, yeah, this is going to slow down his early clear quite a lot. Of course, he will be forced to use his smite on the blue buff, given that he is doing a solo clear. The question is, will he look for an early level 2 gank himself? Given that he's starting on the blue, I'm not expecting as much.
Yeah, no, he'll just take W next. Like I said, smites the blue and then should full clear down towards the bot side. Bwipo doing the same kind of thing, an upset, and Hylissang getting push in this lane. Carzzy can farm from quite a long distance. And just looking across the board, I think that Humanoid can push in mid, of course, level 1 range. Nisqy has to trade his HP for the wave, as you see there, to get creeps and to get the push, he has to trade his HP for the wave. So I have to be a little bit careful on how far you go. And Armut level 1, obviously, very strong into the GP.
Nisqy's time to go for the refillable alongside the Dark Seal here. He's got Biscuits popping in as well as Humanoid tries to trade back onto him, but no Corrupting Potion on Humanoid means that that damage won't be as hefty as perhaps it usually could. The Doran's Ring, of course, the extra mana on the Orianna and the extra damage with the AP, helping her out a little bit in the lane.
Now, the common thing that you'll see or hear from analysts when talking about Ziggs is he's not really useful as a champion until he gets that lost chapter. His wave clear isn't the strongest. He needs a couple levels under his belt before he really has that strong wave clear, which means that early prio is going to go in the favor of Fnatic. This means that Bwipo is obviously going to be bathing towards the bot side of the map because that will give him safety in securing that crab. The only question is Elyoya is in the same vicinity, so what will he do? Will he look to try and contest, or will he actually path back up as Nisqy's getting very low here?
Yeah, he's really trying to force the push here, it looks like. Nisqy's going to have to TP back. One more QW from Orianna. He's dead if he can't get in range of his W, and it won't heal him enough through the burst itself. So yeah, Nisqy really trying to get the push in mid here because he knows that if he gives up mid push, there's a world where Elyoya could contest his bot grab. But now that he's CP'd back, that's as good as gone. I expect Elyoya to move towards the top side of the map after he does his Raptors.
Yeah, Bwipo working towards his blue buff as well. Instead, skipping it for the moment, goes to that Scuttle Crab. Elyoya will go up towards the top side. Hasn't been spotted, importantly, here. But because Fnatic have the push in the bottom lane, it will be very difficult for the Mad Jungler to contest anything down towards this bot side river.
I think that with that sight cone spotting out the Krogs, they should have
Scryer's bloom.
Sight cone.
The sight cone.
Oh, the good old sight cone, yeah.
Orb of Vision. It will indicate that the Krogs are still up, and because the Raptors are dead and the red is dead, they have a pretty clear idea of where Elyoya was, and notice that Adam has actually gone back to base as well, respecting the possibility that Elyoya is on the top side of the map and has secured that top scuttle. So far, pretty safe and easy early game, but now we see Fnatic threatening a dive as Nisqy leverages the Fog of War. So they don't know exactly where Nisqy is. All they know is that he's not in the mid lane right now.
Yeah, that one ward will spot them out, so that's very lucky of them. Bwipo is going to base. Maybe Kaiser can just throw a Q here and just cancel him, get some more tempo for Elyoya, who's already really far ahead. Not sure if they have any kill pressure here unless they cancel the Jarvan combo, which now they can't after W's gone. and that's just going to be that. But Fnatic just doing what they want to do, what they like to do, just pushing mid, trade aggressively, ward the Raptors, and keep going towards the bot side.
Speaking of trading aggressively, Nisqy just forcing Humanoid low here. Humanoid down to 250 health, while Nisqy seems pretty healthy around the 600, 500 mark now, as the Fnatic mid laner continues to find positive trades, even in a difficult matchup to play.
Yeah, we can see both side lanes, how it's going. Fnatic pressuring bot, and they have a lead. As Kaiser gets by the hook.
He'll be okay, he's just going to be able to walk away from this one.
Yeah, and just going back to my point, winning on bots for Fnatic, but top side, Armut's just in isolation against the Chogath. The Chogath is a good match to the GP because he can kind of out-heal the damage and just sustain in the lane itself, but sustain's the key word, and Armut can win out on the majority of trades, have the push, and of course, with the push, he can get a CS game.
Has Elyoya been sneaky here? There is a ward on his Krugs. Nisqy paying respect to the fact that the MAD jungler could be on the bottom side of the map and will just back away. Bwipo has been spotted on these Krugs by that pink ward that has been laid behind him, so for the moment, both junglers are on vision. Elyoya, this is the power of an Ashe, of course. The Hawkshot just so strong in the early game to keep track of the enemy jungler.
Certainly is. Very powerful tool, and it will also make it easier for Upset and Hylissang to just keep pushing in this wave because they know enemy jungle is on the top side of the map. Could be an opportunity for Bwipo to look for an early Drake if he wants to, and with Adam having his TP up, there's always the possibility of the collapse, given that he has the TP advantage over Armut as well.
So Fnatic have a couple of options in this next couple of minutes in the early game. With Herald coming up at 8 minutes in 2 minutes time, do they want to push out bot after having base now and then move towards the mid-top side to contest the Herald itself? Because if they don't, in isolation, with Armut having the push, I think they're just going to be able to secure it for themselves unless Fnatic can find some kind of 3v3. But Adam just used his TP back towards the top side now, so all TPs are down, globals are gone, apart from, of course, Armut with the GP ult. Level 6 is coming through, so we might see a little bit more aggression coming out of the junglers especially.
I'd just say, how slow is this game compared to game 2? Like, at this point, we had 10 kills at the 5-minute mark in game 2 here. Both teams just a little bit more patient, waiting for those level 6s, waiting for those first real frays, first real battles, as Fnatic will start up on the first dragon of the game. Kaiser's going to jump in. Of course, he can just jump out with the stand beside me. Bwipo going in. There's the cannon barrage as well. Not as perfectly placed perhaps as you'd like, but Bwipo does have to flash away. TP's coming in as MAD Lions look for the fight. Flash forward, Sonic Wave hits onto Bwipo, and the Shockwave will follow it up. Dragon here for MAD Lions as well as Hylissang and Upset have to walk away. Nisqy looking to come back into this fight, but decides against it. MAD Lions will get a kill and get the first dragon of the game.
Yeah, very textbook play from Fnatic, push in bot, start dragon, but then Kaiser can just blast cone over, put a ward for the TP for his AD carry. It's a 4v4, and on top of that you have a GP ult. Bwipo's combo goes wide, doesn't actually connect onto Kaiser, and he doesn't have any damage to actually pressure a kill. Exhaust still up, Bwipo forced to flash away, and from there MAD Lions have really good chase down potential.
Armut also securing the top Scuttle Crab, keeping an eye on blue buff to see if anything is happening to it as well, and MAD Lions playing the map very well. I think that in a position like this, they can only really make this play because the Ziggs has the teleport, so you can kind of cheat tempo in a situation like this because you know he can get back out onto the map soon. The Orianna moves down at the same time as the Sylas, and this GP ultimate, almost acting as a fifth man, provides so much additional damage, allowing Elyoya to secure that kill onto Bwipo and the first Drake of the game.
Yeah, great flash Q from Elyoya to get the first kill. And now the bot push will still be in favor of Fnatic. You expect the TPUs to just secure the play and then go back to the lane itself.
Carzzy's going to get pulled back here with the Flay. Hook available for Hylissang. He does hit, but it's onto Carzzy instead. Unbreakable coming out from Kaiser. Good satchel. Will knock Upset and Hylissang away, but that was an exhaust burnt by the MAD Lions bottom lane. Humanoid looking for the plate here. Nisqy's going to go in, lands the Abscond. Not much mana here on Humanoid. Nisqy flashes away from the Sonic Wave. Bwipo joining the fray. Does have that level 6, has the Cataclysm, but just going to try and clear the wave here for the Fnatic mid.
Yeah, solo lane's going heavily in favor of MAD Lions. Obviously top lane from the champions itself. And we saw a lot of trading in mid early. Nisqy actually dropping a little bit of creeps here and there to move towards bot side to try and find some kind of fake pressure to push MAD Lions' bot lane off the wave itself. But now here comes the isolation Herald of top side. MAD Lions starting it up. Of course, they're winning out on top side because Armut's had the push all game. And Fnatic late to the play. Upset still bot. Hylissang's moving there now, but I think they're going to be too late.
Yeah, Kaiser will arrive there just a little bit earlier. Humanoid also has the push on mid. Won't have the TP up just in time, so Bwipo could look to just try and force the flash out from Humanoid.
Cataclysm available. Humanoid will just have to flash away from this.
I like it a lot. I think that one of the big problems with Orianna is that because she doesn't have a huge amount of mobility inherently in her kit, once you get her flash out, she becomes a lot easier to kill. Hylissang with a level advantage.
Hylissang looking for the trade here as the hook comes down. Bwipo going in. Remember, no Cataclysm available. Meanwhile, we'll have a look at Upset, who's got the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and that is why we're there. Arrow coming in. Look at the Kaiser. Will hit him on the back, and Nisqy with the chase helps Bwipo pick up the kill. Meanwhile, Fnatic now turn their eyes down towards the bottom side. Mega Inferno Bomb used to clear out the way. Flash hook goes wide as Carzzy able to escape.
Oh, Upset didn't have mana for that arrow, but he had a cookie in his inventory. I think he had one, and he popped it, had the mana, shot the arrow across, and gets Fnatic a kill. Now, with this bot side pressure, look at the vision that they have. Deep wards, pinks, deep into the enemy jungle. Upset, another cannon barrage. Stops his push in this series. He gets one plate as expected. I think he only really would have got one plate from that wave, and will back off.
But props to Bwipo, and again, utilizing his pressure so well, because remember, he just forced Humanoid back. He knew that Elyoya should be on the top side of the map because he just secured the Herald, which means that there's a clear opportunity for him to be able to steal these bot side camps. Hylissang is with him, Nisqy's able to support as well, and they're able to find a quick pick onto Kaiser, even though Elyoya is there to assist. Also thanks to the level advantage that Hylissang had over his support counterpart. So really well played there from Fnatic to find themselves some small advantages.
Even though the gold is within about 400 or so here, you see some pretty big discrepancies in terms of CS across these lanes. There's a 23 CS lead for Armut on the top side. In the mid lane, 20 farm ahead for Humanoid as well. You can see Armut going into debt a little bit, obviously. He's taken out a loan, taken out a mortgage with that, oh, what's it called?
Futures Market.
Futures Market, that's the one. Is able to farm up on that Gangplank pretty easily, but he's 1,000 gold ahead of Adam right now, and if you look down towards the bot lane, there's a 400 gold lead for Upset. So it feels like we're going to have this balance of Fnatic's AD carry is really big, but MAD Lions' top lane is really big as the game goes on.
Yeah, top lane I think will be in isolation during the whole laning phase. The reason for that is Bwipo is now level, of course, 7 on Jarvan, has Flash coming up in a second, and both mid and bot for MAD Lions have no summoner. So Bwipo with this Gore Drinker should have easy pickings, easy kills in mid and bot. If he can find some kind of commit play with the arrow, Nisqy can follow up. It's all about MAD Lions covering it. The reason we see nothing in top is because Adam is as safe as he can be. You can't really die to this gank. You're too tanky and you have sums up. So MAD Lions won't invest resources there because bot will get dove. Similarly for Fnatic, why go top when mid and bot can be great pressure points?
So we've had a bit of a slow early game, a bit of a surprise, but also both teams know that they want to team fight more. And for Armut, this is actually like one of the best early games that he's had on his Gangplank. He has been punished a lot, but also during the regular season, he was someone that received a lot of criticism. And now we'll get to see him on something else outside of his Nart and typical Jason. You can see that during playoffs, he's clearly had a much stronger performance, and it's been one of the reliable carries of this MAD Lions squad.
Adding in, of course, the positional coach of Vizicachi as well for the MAD Lions has seemed to really help their top side of the map. Armut
Still
especially.
yet to see Armut Poppy, but hopefully one day.
The dream's alive.
Shen as well.
The Shen.
But we've got the GP at least.
Shen. Yeah, we do have the GP for that global presence. But let's see if he uses anything here. Does have the GP ultimate up soon, the TP as well, and it seems like that for now, Elyoya is on the top side threatening a dive.
Yeah, I think they realize this dragon is uncontestable. No sums on carries. It's really hard to just walk up and force the 4v4. Everyone has TPs up as well, so Adam can join the fight if he wants to. So what's the best play for MAD Lions? Is it to just watch them do dragon or try to cross map top? Nisqy has TP, so they have to be careful. Humanoid can match though. Adam will be fine, but again, he's just going to be denied creeps. So Fnatic with this dragon, can they pressure the rest of the map, or do they want to defend the play? Humanoid, no flash.
Abscondo don't misses, but there's the flash cataclysm. Kaiser is on the way, the shockwave coming out. Kaiser there, not quite in time. Humanoid's going to put the shockwave down of his own. Humanoid still alive, stunned up, and he lands the Demacian standard to the face of Humanoid. Bwipo takes the kill, and a second follows up for Nisqy.
Beautiful play from Nisqy. Gets the Orianna ult, and he R flashes to make sure it hits onto Humanoid. Really good play there from Bwipo as well to lock down Humanoid with the Q to finish him off. Otherwise, I think Humanoid, there's a world where he could have kited that out and maybe killed them both. But anyway, trying to get 2 kills. MAD Lions, they get top tier 1 though.
Certainly do. So the gold still in favor of MAD. Fnatic.
Oh, that was really mistimed there from Upset. Perhaps a little hasty as Armut underneath the tower will survive. I wonder if that CC chain had connected, whether or not Armut would have been able to keep himself alive through that. Of course, does have the oranges, so perhaps could have got out of the initial stuff.
I do wonder if they expected it to be someone else. If that was Carzzy, obviously it's a much harder situation for him to be able to get out of, especially when you combine both the Ashe arrow and the hook. But as you rightly said, a little bit early on the Ashe arrow, but overall, good early skirmishing, good proactivity we're seeing from Fnatic. And I want to go back to that play very quickly because I think that was a situation where Nisqy and Bwipo read that Humanoid would try and rotate up towards top lane to assist with the tower siege, and they were able to catch him in the rotation without that flash. So this is something that we'll continue to see with the Jarvan. Your ability to lock down these low mobility carries in the form of Orianna is going to be deadly as the game progresses, and keeping track of those flashes is going to be very important.
Yeah, speaking of carries, I think a lot of pressure on Armut to do the most damage in fights because everyone's building towards Magic Resist. You can see Upset first item, Wit's End. Adam's on a ward.
Sonic Wave going in, looking for the Dragon's Edge kick back from Elyoya. Kaiser on the chase as well. Adam's going to flash away. Gusset blows, one more order would be enough to lock him in place. Armut going in with the Bowers and Adam, unable to escape. MAD Lions pick up a kill, but the TP's coming in as Fnatic look for the fight. Nisqy there. Mad Lions, Kaiser's going to have to tank up the tower. He may even just execute to this. He will go down. Adam actually gets the kill. Mega Inferno Bomb stolen away as Fnatic now look for the play. TP coming in from Mad Lions. Bwipo forced back. There's the hook onto Armut, but the chase is on. Humanoid joins the fray with the shockwave, with the flash available. Upset from across the wall, puts out a volley. There's the ammo. Flashed away from Humanoid, survives. The shockwave goes wide. Dodging the hook as well. Nisqy going into the abscond dog, but no one can hit Humanoid. He's got fancy feet.
Oh man, everyone dodged everything there. Hylissang, the hook got dodged away from because then he also fancy feet works the ultimate from Humanoid. So everyone, as much as it looked like they were missing, everyone was kind of sidestepping everything. In the end, it's just a 1-for-1. Adam dies, and so does Elyoya. Bwipo is taking away the red. Humanoid, no flash.
He just goes in. Bwipo looking for the kill here. He's got the Gore Drinker. Mega Inferno Bomb coming out as well, but Bwipo's already taking the killing. He's got a Blast Cone to get himself out of there. Sonic Wave goes wide. Kaiser with the Winter Spike going in, but Fnatic are taking this fight. Flashes away from Mad Lions as they look to retreat with the Lantern for Bwipo. Bwipo keeps getting himself into the most difficult situations, and then a Lantern saves him every time. The red buff, the target here, Bwipo will secure it.
Mad Lions are bleeding gold in mid and top especially though, so the longer this goes on, the worse it gets.
Nisqy continues to trade. The hook from Hylissang finds its mark. Hylissang goes in. Bwipo with the chase to play back. Pulls him into the EQ combo, and Kaiser has to dive away. Bwipo looking for this, looking for the dive. Nisqy going in with a double kill. Bwipo tanking it up, and Elyoya has to safeguard to his wolves to escape. The Fnatic players so deep between these two towers. Cannon Barrage kicked away. Bwipo with the stopwatch. Nisqy will die. Bwipo will die as well. It was fancy, but it didn't keep him alive.
What? What did I just watch? That was the craziest sequence of events. Remember that started around the Drake when Mad tried to dive bot lane, and then the TP from the Sylas into the enemy jungle, into the Bwipo counter invade, into the extended fight, into then Mad getting themselves 2 kills back, and somehow Mad are 2k up after that whole series of plays.
Yeah.
So Caedrel, break it down.
Well, I can't wait to see the replay because that's going to be 2 minutes long as well. I guess Fnatic just overcommitting, a little bit relentless there. I think Hylissang's hook was actually completely blind. I would love to see it again because I'm not sure if he had any vision when he hit Carzzy there. Bwipo overcommits into the
Can we know, by the way, Gangplank with 8k gold?
Armut just farmed.
He has just farmed.
For the entirety of that, he was just farming, and that's why he is now so fed and why Mad Lions have such a lead. Also as well, Humanoid I think got a shutdown, which means he is now ahead in gold over Nisqy, even though Nisqy has 3 kills and Humanoid only has 1.
Okay, can I just also comment, every now and then I just hear Armut like laughing and I don't understand why. Just every now and then he'll just proclaim a very like loud laugh, but it seems like he's having a great time so far in this finals, and he's in a great position on this Gangplank as we approach the 20-minute mark. Mad lead with gold and they're looking to secure themselves another tower.
Yeah, Herald top, that should just be a tier 2. Fnatic have 2 members here to defend. Mad Lions, maybe they aren't so sure where Bwipo is, and of course Humanoid though Flash doesn't want to overstep. No information on enemy jungle. Hylissang's just farming mid because Nisqy went to cover top, so the map's in a bit of a weird state right now, but Dragon's up, so Mad Lions are going to shift from top to mid. Maybe contest this next wave alongside Fnatic and then try to move into this Dragon pick. Carzzy of course split off, wave clearing bot and has TP to join the fight if anything kicks off.
Pretty much everyone's got the flashes, only Adam and Elyoya and Carzzy waiting on theirs. I think Kaiser's just come off cooldown as well, but it looks like Mad Lions are willing to give this one up. Only second Dragon of the game for Fnatic. Mad Lions not in a position to fight. Carzzy just base, doesn't want to TP in. And Mad are just going to control the mid lane. There's the TP. Does mean that Nisqy has a bit of free time in the bottom side of the map to push towards this tier 1.
Maybe a bit of a mistake from Mad Lions there, because Humanoid based for his Mythic while they tried to move to bot side for Drake. They could have been pressuring top this whole time and taking that top tier 2. I think that's what Humanoid's looking at now, so they're a little bit late to the cross map, but they should be able to pick up this top tier 2
Here
upset.
we go, Arrow onto Armut. He's going to try and get away the volley, not close enough. The knock-up does connect. Fnatic could chase in here. Bwipo's going to go in with the Cataclysm, but look at the damage from the Battles. Mega Inferno Bomb coming out as well. Oh,
Carzzy!
Oh, his satchel charged him away from the Lantern. Carzzy with the perfect W2. Mal, a win for his team. Now we see Adam kick back. Hylissang, the new target for Mad Lions. One more auto is enough to stun him up with the concussive blows. Mad Lions get 3 kills in the mid lane and a tier 2 in the top.
Yeah, now it's all Fnatic trying to find Armut, trying to force his flash, trying to force him back, but then you can see the amount of zone control they have with the GP ult, the Ziggs ult, all of it connects. MVP of the fight is Carzzy with that little rubber ducky,
It certainly
stopping
was.
the Lantern.
Oh, flash in from Nisqy.
There's a shockwave. Actually brings Nisqy closer to Humanoid, but
Phase
Carzzy
rush.
is on his way. Phase rush will be enough movement speed for Humanoid to get away.
That's a big investment, though, from Nisqy, committing the flash. Bit of desperation there as he tries to get something back. He thinks that he can find himself a good 1v1, but the gold lead just continues to mount for Mad Lions. Ooh, the flank coming in from Nisqy. He's trying to get a pick onto Armut, but does he win? Oh, Adam, rather, looking for this. I don't know if he wins this. Let's find out.
Yeah, Bwipo's behind, though, so he can EQ ult. Armut has no flash station. Oh, is he going to base? Is he going to base?
Oh, he hit him with the emote as well.
Gave him the Blitzcrank.
Oh, that's a big TP invested, but let's have a look back.
We're getting a replay of it?
No, we're getting a replay of this. So the arrow comes down onto Armut. He's going to orange that one out. He's doing everything he can. And it looks like that Fnatic's in two minds here. They're disengaging, but Bwipo wants to commit. He goes straight into the Kaiser Q, which slows him down. The rubber ducky right there, interrupting. Beautifully played there by Carzzy rather, and then it ends up giving the kill over to Armut, and then the flanking. Meanwhile, Humanoid doing what Humanoid often does, and he's split pushing in a top lane, secures himself another tower for the side of Mad.
You can see Adam emotionless after that play. Not currently on the winning side this game. At least 6,000 gold now, the lead for Mad Lions. They take this, they are one game away from the repeat championship, one game away from joining only Fnatic and G2 as two-time LEC champions.
And like we showed earlier, Mad Lions have never lost a domestic best of 5 ever this year. And the only best of 5 they lost was to Damwon.
In 5 games.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is, we saw people saying on social media and stuff like this, is Mad Lions a top 4 team? I think that's the biggest question. How strong just are Mad Lions? Because everyone kind of doubts them. And yeah, I think that this game also showcases how well they're playing around every different lane.
I mean, what's crazy is it was Mac in the pre-game interview that sat there and said, we think that our mid-game is just better. They said that they showcased it in game 2, that they can play the mid-game better, they're smarter in how they approach the fights as well, and I think we saw a brief glimpse of it here, where Fnatic tried to overforce a fight. Bwipo got a little too hungry to try and make something happen, and then Mad are quick to punish it, and look what they got off the back of it. The tier 1 in mid, the tier 2 in top, they got a bunch of kills, and Mad like ballooned this gold lead massively to set their teamfight comp up beautifully.
And that's what all the pros are saying as well. Mad Lions mid-game is the best in the league by far. And you can just see it here, playing.
Humanoid put it in a slightly different way, saying everyone else doesn't know how to play mid-game.
Okay, that's another way to say it.
We'll see if Mad Lions can set up better around this Baron than Fnatic did in game 2. Of course, Elyoya was there for the steal. This time, Bwipo in the right position has the smite.
Ashe arrow.
Ashe arrow available as well. 4,000 HP on the Baron. Mad, Kaiser's going to block the arrow. Bwipo can go in. 2,000 HP now on the Baron as Kaiser goes down. Bwipo goes in, but it's taken by Humanoid, and Bwipo pays for his greed with his life. And Mad Lions will get it 4 members strong. They'll walk out with the Baron.
Yeah, Fnatic might get a mid-tier 1 for this as well. Dragon spawning in 50 seconds. Kaiser should be up for that, but 1 member for Baron's always going to be worth it. Let's see what Fnatic can do, because they have a little bit of tempo on the map right now.
Just a moment ago, are Mad Lions a top 4 team in the world where they get the Baron, but Humanoid has been hooked. Cannon Barrage coming out as well to distract Fnatic from taking the fray. Baron buff still 2.5 minutes on it, of course, as now we see Fnatic walking away.
Now, that Baron definitely looked dangerous. Ooh, 56%, a lot of confidence, but also a lot of doubters. Some people not having that same level of confidence in the Mad Lions. Of course, still a long series left to go. Perhaps if we asked that same question about Fnatic, we'd get a different answer. As Humanoid getting locked up.
Shockwave comes out from Humanoid, but he's down to no HP. Shut down there for Adam. Elyoya going in as well. Good knock up from Adam. Nisqy doesn't really have anywhere to go. Flashes across the wall, but Armut chases him. Nisqy heals up with the Kingslayer. Elyoya going in. Adam's going to get the knock up once again, and Bwipo's looking for a repeat and a repeat and a repeat. Elyoya, the arrow, not quite going to connect. Adam able to walk away. Hylissang going in. Bwipo flashes forward. The Catacomb coming out as well, and with the Lantern. Upset can now put the damage down, but Kaiser blocks it with the wall. Adam still trying to do what he can from the side. Bwipo once again going in. Gore Drinker will heal him up, but he's in the midst of all of Mad Lions. Flash away from Upset. No mana now on the AD carry, and Kaiser flash forward with a Winter Spike for the slow. Elyoya will chase down one. Upset's dead as well. And Fnatic just forced so much into that fight.
And just great patience from the Mad Lions as well. They took their time. They knew that the longer this fight went on, they would be able to turn it around in their favor. And it all starts with Humanoid. He knows that Elyoya is coming for the collapse. He's trying to buy time, but the knock-up from Adam, he dies so quickly that it then turns into a 2v4.
Yeah, and a lot of people might be wondering, why is Fnatic over-forcing here? Why does Bwipo keep going in? Well, the waves are in horrendous states. Bot wave stacking, mid wave under tier 2, top wave stacking, and Mad Lions have Baron. The second they set up with Ziggs, those towers are dead. They have so much zone with Ziggs ult, GP ult, Orianna ult, that the second the siege comes in, Fnatic have to force. And with a 1-for-1 initially, maybe just forcing 4v4 is good if Bwipo can buy time. In the end, Fnatic don't have enough damage.
I think he also committed because he knew he had the GA and he thought they could win in his
coming
plan.
out as well. Nisqy going in, they're looking for Elyoya. A great hook from Hylissang. Maybe he was looking for Carzzy, but the shutdown comes down, and now Elyoya, the new target. Shockwave pulls Nisqy back. That's 2 quick kills to Mad Lions. Armut taking up the tower as well. He's looking for Bwipo, but he can't quite get close enough.
All the waves are pushing in, and Fnatic are just trying to weather the storm by trying to find engages, and they're going to do it. Carzzy's dead. Maybe they'll lose this bot tier 2, but if they can get around the map and clear the waves, they should be in an alright spot. 2-for-1, not the best, but it's slowing the game down. Elyoya pushing in mid. Maybe he can pressure this bot, this mid tier 2, sorry.
Exactly that. Elyoya keeping the pressure up elsewhere. While Adam and Upset are trying to wave clear in this bot side of the map, Elyoya should be able to get something off the back of it, but Fnatic could be looking for a fight.
Bwipo on as well. Elyoya will get the mid tier 2, and it looks like Fnatic will have to back away. Mad Lions able to retreat. 9,000 gold, now their lead at the 25-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is for Fnatic, if you didn't do these engages, you probably would have lost a lot more. Mid tier 2 on a Baroned up Ziggs, Orianna, GP when they're ahead with so much zone control is not bad. Yes, they died a couple of times, but now they can actually walk into their own jungle and they have some kind of pressure on the map where they're actually first to the river.
It's also a matter of Mad starting that fight. It's Mad looking for that pick, and I feel like the Fnatic in that situation, hey, they're trying to engage onto us with a Baron rather than Siege. If the more kills we get, the easier our base defense ultimately becomes. So Fnatic obviously taking a slightly riskier fight, but when you think back to the position that Mad was in last game, sometimes that is just the best play that you can make.
Hylissang looked for it, Hex Flash didn't connect with the hook as Mad Lions still standing under their tier 1 in the mid lane, still standing tall. As Fnatic are looking for avenues for this fight. Elyoya, 3rd highest gold in the game, more than anyone on Fnatic right now.
That pirate be full of plunder,
yeah,
one could say.
pretty strong.
He's going to have a lot of treasure to bury after this game, and he's looking very good on his Gangplank.
And the rise of Armut in playoffs is just nuts. We talked about it earlier, but he was really struggling the last couple of weeks of the LEC. Week 8, he had a great showing, and from then, every single playoffs game, this man is a point of carry for Mad Lions.
I mean, he's the 2-time TCL champ,
okay.
Caedrel. He is
really?
the guy
I didn't know that.
He made the Gnar play that helped win Mad the final against Rogue last split, and he definitely is having a great Gangplank performance. We were skeptical about what he could blind pick, and obviously his Gangplank performances I don't think have really been on him. The early games have not panned out the way that he wanted them to, but this time around we're really getting to see what he can do. He's very strong, he's playing the early game very well. 4 items now completed, 26.5 minutes in. The Drake is spawning in about 2 minutes time, the Baron in 1 minute. I expect a big fight to happen between these two teams with the comps that they drafted.
And it's so important that Armut had a good game this game, because if he was shut down, there's no real AD threat on the side of Mad. Like, yes, Sin can put a bit of damage down with the Sterak's, with the Gore Drinker, but really, that Gangplank is the physical damage for this team. You can see Fnatic itemizing towards Magic Resist as well. Wit's End completed first on Upset. Force of Nature complete on Adam as well.
Yeah, we talked about who the carry had to be from the DPS side. It's really only Armut. These burst mages are negated with the itemization, but Armut and Elyoya pulling all the weight that they so desperately needed to do. And yes, Fnatic have this cool combo of taking away Ziggs ult, but now Mad Lions have all their flashes that just came up, so Fnatic still trying to force. They're looking for some kind of pick. But they see Armut and Humanoid on the side lanes. So they can't get onto him. They have to find some kind of pick. I think a straight 5v5 is just over.
Kaiser going forward. Upset. Caught with the Winter's Bite. There's a satchel to knock him back as well. Dragon up in 50 seconds. Nisqy's pushing in the top wave. Does have TP. You can see Armut trying to get some pressure down towards the bottom side. The collapse is available, as you say. Fnatic having to retreat through their own blue side jungle. Nisqy's on his way, though, and has a good flank position. He is on a ward right now. Bwipo trying to come in from the side as well, but Mad are split. Instead, Fnatic decide they do not want to take the fight. Armut, level 17. 3 levels ahead of Adam right now.
Upset is bot lane though, so if they start up this Baron, he has the whole map to walk across. They were pinging it, but it looks like they might just back off. Carzzy could jump over the wall. That blue orb, he's going to clear it away, so now Fnatic absolutely zero vision, other than that one blue orb in the pit that needs to be pink ward, needs to be sweeped, otherwise Fnatic know exactly what's happening.
The problem for Mad right now is they don't have a lot of vision available to them. You can see Elyoya just dropped a control ward, but Kaiser only sitting on 1 ward in his inventory. They need to reset, they need to replenish this vision, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them push out the waves and actually go back to base, or they might just fight.
Arrow coming in, it hits onto Kaiser, he puts down the Unbreakable. Knock-up coming out from Adam as well, and perhaps Mad Lions can look for a bit more of a fight. Glacial Fissure used. Cannon Barrage coming out to Mega Inferno Bomb being used as well as Elyoya continues to push onto Hylissang. Another hook's going to hit him though. The knockup goes wide. Everfrost didn't get the root. Nisqy steals away the Glacial Fissure for himself as Armut continues to step in. Hylissang gets a Lantern onto Upset there. Upset no mana now as Mad Lions set up around the Baron.
Yeah, and 3 big ultimates used. GP, Ziggs, and Braum. That's a lot of zoning control away from Mad Lions. If Fnatic can base and get these mana and health bars back up, they can move out onto the map. The reason they're contesting this mid-wave is Dragon's up. 3rd Dragon of the game. They know Fnatic don't have a window for Baron. Or do they? Maybe they can Lantern and hook over the wall. They're thinking about it. Bwipo is thinking about it. They're starting it up, but no one's around. Upset showing
the only
top
one
wave.
thinking about it, apparently.
Yeah.
TP was invested by Carzzy towards the mid lane.
Yeah, and they're just going to get this Dragon back off. So yeah, the ultimates we used, no real summoner spells used other than Hylissang's Flash. Dragon over to Mad Lions.
That is something we haven't talked a huge amount. The triple teleport threat on the side of Mad Lions. We saw a couple examples of how Carzzy could get back into lane with his contest over the Drake, but the fact is that Mad don't just have those double TP threats. There is this 3rd option of Carzzy, and if you have a wave pushing into him, guess what? He can just TP back into wave, he can clear that out instantly, and then he can be ready to join for any skirmish or any fight that happens to be going on. So it's much harder for Fnatic to use these small windows to try and find sneaky plays just because of how quickly Mad can react on the map.
I will say though, the awkward thing for Mad now is the only TP you have up is Humanoid, and if he goes side lane, it can be dangerous, so forcing Nash is really the play that they're going to look for. They're going to group up in and keep forcing. Armut can't pressure this bot tier 2 that's really low, of course, because he has no TP, so he's going to group up with the team. Humanoid doesn't want to go into a side lane, and they're going to look to push Fnatic back.
He dodges out with the EQ combo. Armut forced back as well with a volley. You can see Upset doesn't really put the damage onto that Gangplank. Bwipo might look for this, but just wants to sweep out this ward. Double barrel going out. Bwipo down to half HP. Elyoya getting a flank position off as Nisqy steps into him. Elyoya by his lonesome here, and Bwipo's going to get the knock-up. He does sell out the GA, but the shockwave down towards the bottom side is going to do so much work here. Elyoya forced back, but he's still got that Guardian Angel, and now Fnatic fighting a 3v5. Upset exhausted. The arrow connects, but Kaiser and Humanoid still on the chase. Bwipo comes back from the GA, Upset forced underneath his inhibitor tower, but that won't save you now. Elyoya goes godlike. Nisqy the new target here for Mad Lions. Armut on the chase, the barrels connect. Nisqy tries to dodge away, but he's slowed with the Cerildas and with the barrels, and there's no way away for this Sylas. Everfrost will get the root. Perhaps there is a way. Nisqy just trying to delay Mad Lions for as long as possible. Bwipo's catching the wave in the mid lane as well. And the longer Nisqy can keep Mad Lions interested, the longer it takes for them to take the Baron.
Exactly that, Medic. Right now, Fnatic is just trying to buy time. Look, 20 seconds until Upset is alive. 10 on Adam, and he has the teleport available to him. So there is a world where Fnatic can actually contest this objective, but Humanoid is trying to follow Bwipo. He's trying to prevent him from at least getting near the Baron pit.
Yeah, this Baron's gone. Bwipo just has to dodge away from Humanoid. The ball's going to spot him. Can he EQ out?
Why would Bwipo ever dodge away when he can dodge in? The shockwave comes out, Bwipo dies.
Yeah, it doesn't EQ away. He knows he's going to get chased down. Hylissang was on the way, so I thought there was a world where he can, try to use his combo to get out. He's going to try to stop Humanoid here, but he's alone. Has to be a bit careful. There's a world where maybe he could just try to go away and get Lantern, but anyway, this fight was basically inevitable because Fnatic have to get some kind of vision. They think the poke's too much, so the second they see a pick, they just go for it. So there's a fight topside, but that shockwave on top of the GP ult just one-pops Hylissang. Adam's all alone, so he gets melted down. And Elyoya has GA. If that was a 1-for-1 and Hylissang dies, of course, then maybe there's a world where Fnatic can fight it out as 3 members. But no, the second Elyoya has GA, it's over. It's a 5v3. Fnatic split up to escape. Upset dies, Nisqy gets chased down, and now Mad Lions with Baron can start the siege.
What was crazy to me was how they utilized the GP ultimate and the Ziggs ultimate to help Elyoya on the top side skirmish while they were still fighting in the bottom side of the map. Now the ultimate comes through, it's not going to connect onto anyone. Mad continue with the siege.
TP flank here from Adam.
Really far.
It's a long way to the fight, but here comes Adam trying to chase out Carzzy. Armut the target, the shockwave hits, and Bwipo's dead before he can even use his Cataclysm. Elyoya diving onto the backline as well, trying to look to Upset. Armut's already got a double. Adam next on the menu for the Mad top laner. Elyoya in a 2v1 goes legendary, gets himself a double. Mad Lions get the clean ace, and this will be game 2 to the reigning champs.
Yeah, it's non-stop desperation plays from Fnatic. They have to start the fight before the siege comes in. You see it again with the second Baron buff, and it doesn't work out this time. They're just way too far behind. Almost an 18,000 gold lead for Mad Lions. Adam's TP play, you have to respect it. He's just too far away. The second that Fnatic try to engage on one side, Mad Lions can just turn into that angle, and Adam has no impact. And yeah, great performance.
I think the biggest shift we saw in this game was the fact that MAD decided to just play a scaling teamfight comp, and Fnatic decided to match them. And they both said, okay, what we'll do is we'll play a slower early game, we'll cross-map, we'll trade objectives, and we'll look to fight around Drakes and Baron. And I feel like that MAD just played the mid game better. They were way more patient, they picked their fights more optimally, they found better picks, and this Gangplank was never really punished at any point in the game.
Exactly, the GP was in pure isolation, and it was scaling and winning the lane, and it was something that MAD Lions could always play for. But Fnatic just couldn't find big enough leads in bots to leverage the fact that that top matchup's in isolation. So going into the mid game, they're already behind. Fnatic have to force fights to try to get some kind of lead, some kind of tempo on the map, because MAD Lions can always play on 2 lanes, and in the end, MAD Lions just punish them.
And you think about that Ashe arrow, what's it going to hit, Braum or the GP? And every time it did, it never resulted in a big fight.
It was a very difficult pick there for Upset. Couldn't make the Ashe work. MAD Lions are now just 1 win away from back-to-back LEC titles. And we'll look ahead towards Game 4 in just a few minutes. Don't you go anywhere.
Sport is not a sport.
Hey guys, it's not a sport.
Okay, wrap it up. It's not a sport.
It's over, no goodbye.
Not a sport? Eh? Who gives a shit?
Welcome back to the LEC. Get ready for the match of the week in the battle.
The systems are overloading. We can't risk another game.
We need to take a break and regroup.
We're starting to lose our mind. Captain, we cannot go back to Elo hell. Last time it took us months to get out of it.
Initiate break protocol.
Hurry up!
Yes! Yes! I did it! We did it! We did it!
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
everyone to the LEC studio. The Mad Lions, they came here tonight to hunt for their second title, and they are now on match point. They are going strong. G2 have ruled EU for so long, so have Fnatic, but now the Mad Lions say it's time for our back-to-back. They're not there yet, though, but again, in Game 3, we see a very different approach.
Yeah, I think Mad Lions came in as soon as we got all those global mid laners off the board. They're like, let's draft strong scaling, let's draft really strong team fighting, and I think that stylistically, that has to favor Mad Lions. If they can remove all those champions that can cause chaos in the game, you take it back to fights around objectives, Mad Lions are going to be super strong.
Let's take a look at this bot lane crazy action fight, because I think both teams try to stabilize a lot, but it is in the nature of both of them to keep going for these opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic had honestly a pretty decent read in this game, and I think they had a lot of good fights, and Hylissang found some nice hooks, and this is just a classic Fnatic, no? They get some really good picks, really deep in the jungle, and then they're like, actually, let's just go for more.
And this is, it's problematic for Fnatic at times too, because here you're taking a lot of momentum, you have Adam pushing in the top and it looks good, and then two of your players are going way too deep in the enemy's opposite side of the jungle. Elyoya, Armut are there to be able to punish. The bot lane is nowhere to be found, and this is something we've seen throughout the day, is some disjointed decision-making from Fnatic.
I do also want to call out this top lane matchup. You mentioned just in Armut versus Adam. And in this series, it feels like Adam has not had the similar impact that he had that, you know, awarded him Rookie of the Split that we saw versus G2 last time around. What is your read on that, Treats?
I think Armut has been stepping up a lot in this series, and I think it's really cool that he's playing GP as well as his blind pick. I think that's not something that he's done before, and he's just really outperforming Adam in the series. And I think it's not only Adam playing bad, it's also the team is not really giving him a lot of resources in the series.
100%, especially like with the Chogath, you know, they're always going to be playing towards the bottom side of the map in this last game, and it feels like Adam doesn't have or isn't willing to show champions that can actually just stomp this GP in lane, right? Like the set was a decent option that we saw get some fights around the top side of the map, but again, you reach a certain point where set leaves top lane trying to make plays, and Armut just goes up tons of CS in game number 2. So I feel like if he's able to consistently get champions like this in the top side, it's a really good matchup for Armut to be able to scale into the late stages of the game.
Yeah, I think especially his GP was commendable in this one, and Ender, you wanted to take a closer look at one of the fights we've been, I think, celebrating of the Mad Lions, but specifically in this game.
Exactly. And I think this comes down to some smart drafting from Mad Lions, because we see them with a composition that punishes you when you dive in too deep, right? Ziggs bombs, the Gangplank, the Braum, all these champions want to kite back in fights, while Fnatic want to dive in for you. And you're going to see one of the problems with a champion like Jarvan. He wants to go super deep into these fights. The rest of the team can't follow up so well off of it. So you'll see right off the bat, you got 4 players of Fnatic in the mid lane, 2 players of Mad Lions not in the area. So Fnatic want to fight, and they want to force with an Ashe arrow here. Come on, give me a little play. We got it. You'll love to see it. So coming out of the fog of war, Bwipo and Hylissang are here to punish Armut, and you land a nice knock-up, but here's the problem. You're in this super tight choke point. Bwipo, so far away from the rest of the team. Look at the distance between him and the backline. Upset is nowhere to be found. Your mid laner is down in the bot lane, so the damage here is a little bit far away, and Armut flashes away from that initial combo from Bwipo. But here, you say, okay, Bwipo's in deep. It's a little bit hard to follow up off him. We have Thresh, he can lantern out to safety. Not so fast. Look at this sucker right here. Instantly can interrupt your escape on for Bwipo to get out of the fight. And you see all the AoEs, the Braum ult in the passageway, the Ziggs utility, you have to push through. You take so much damage. It's a perfect example of this composition absolutely punishing what Fnatic want to do. Then you have Elyoya already in the top side jungle, can roam on down, get a couple of extra kills on the back half of it as well. It just goes to show that Mad Lions had a really good plan in draft and execute on it well in game 2.
Yeah, you can come back to us. That was very nice. And I also think it shows how much these little things, these mechanical outplays and these mechanical decisions. Oh, we have a little visitor, apparently. I think this is from the chat, plays Scuttlecraft from before. He's gotten lost.
I know Shelly.
He's gotten lost. In any case, you know, You know her?
Well, yeah, I was hanging out, you know, before the show. Chat gets it. Chat gets it.
It's chilling. It's chilling. It's fine. In any case, let's take stock of everything we've seen. I think we've seen, you know, mechanical outplays from either side. We've seen that aggression, even in controlled games, is important. It is about when you pull the trigger. And I think the consensus is that Fnatic have been a bit too overzealous at times. But it's Mad Lions that are on match point.
I think it's Mad Lions proving consistency time and time again. Even in game 2, when they fell behind exceptionally early on into the match, they were able to find fights and claw it back. Fnatic looking disjointed at times, individual errors as well, and also pressuring too deep. These are problems that we knew existed with Fnatic, but the fact that they're starting to pile up here and Mad Lions are going to seize every single opportunity to punish your mistakes, that's what's so damning here.
Yeah, it looks like Mad Lions are just too good in these team fights. Like, I don't know how they can have close team fights 10k goal behind, and when they're up, it looks so effortless. And for Fnatic, it also looks like they have pretty good games, but it's just not quite there.
And this is not a comfort zone because we had the 3-0 out of Fnatic and we had 5 games out of Fnatic. Now they're in game 4. We know that they have the resiliency to bring these things back. We've seen it time and time again from Fnatic in the slower bracket run. But give me the win conditions. What are the most important things for Fnatic to bring this to a game 5, Treats?
I think it has to start with them having a bit less of this trigger that they have, like when they just go super ham. I think if they get a goal lead, even if it's kind of small, they can still just take it back, just chill a bit, and then play it from there. I think they have to stop with these over-aggressive plays. That's my first point, at least.
Yeah, knowing when to stop, and then I think if you're going to look at the draft as well, we need Adam to be enabled, right? Yeah. Either it's on champions like the Camille that can find a lot of pressure in side lane, playing off a global mid laner, or roaming towards mid lane. He needs to be able to have some kind of impact. There's a lot of different options for him to do that, but we need him to be enabled in the draft. And then if we see these global mid lane champions banned again, Fnatic need to draft better scaling options because the game will be a little bit slower than they're necessarily comfortable with, and Mad Lions are going to have those excellent scaling tools to fight back against you, and you need to be able to contest around objectives.
Fnatic's going to be on blue, so I suggest we pull up the last time they were on the blue side in game 2, the game that they won also. You're talking about, you know, maybe top lane, a bit of a change there. Of course, the globals is still an issue. What are the key adaptations out of this draft, or is this just like a, yes, this actually worked, you can ship it?
Well, I think that the fact they're able to get Twist Fate is
crazy.
huge, and I think that Mad Lions may end up banning that out and just giving the Thresh over. I haven't been super scared by Hylissang's Thresh. Has had some good hooks, but I think Hylissang might want to try something more in the vein of Rakan in this next one.
Yeah, I agree. I think TF is definitely a champ that won't be open. I think the bot side of the map was pretty nice for Fnatic, I would say, just because of the karma from Kaiser. I don't think he's going to go back to that either. So I think it will be a bit more well-rounded comps from both sides, and it will be like a skill check, I think, because this one was kind of a one-sided draft from Fnatic, I would say.
Yeah, one-sided in game 2. I think pretty one-sided in game 3. Let's see what we get in game 4. The Mad Lions, they can see the LEC title on the horizon, but Fnatic are looking to pause the celebrations and bring us to a game 5 in Silver Scrape.
Hit the pause button!